Welcome, everyone. This is ACDC, Araceli and Colette, the Dynamic Change. And my name is Araceli, and I'm a transition wealth advisor. And I just noticed that my logo is not there,
Ah,
but it's okay. Uh,
find it. Find it.
and I love helping single professional women to rearrange their finances so they can get ahead of the game. And I am also a real estate investor, and that's why I'm here with my partner, Colette. Colette, can you introduce yourself?
I love this introduction because this is why Araceli and I get along so well because we met a couple years ago and we really connected on real estate and investing. So my name is Colette. I am a real estate broker in the GTA. I like working anywhere, uh, West End, Etobicoke, all the way to, I just had a closing in Cambridge. So, anywhere West End, I'm very happy to help people find their home or list their home, or, if you just have information, if you want information and you want advice, that's why we do the show. So
Yeah, that's
today
right.
we have a very interesting topic, which it's really hard to find. And this is the thing, we talk about this all the time. We have something called the internet, which obviously we all know about because you wouldn't be watching this without the internet. But we have a lot of information just, out there. But really, when it comes to detail of the information or if it's accurate, that sometimes isn't very accurate. Do you
That's
agree?
correct. Today, Colette, I think we're going in the opposite direction. Before, we didn't have enough information out there to give
Right.
us what we wanted, but now we are the opposite. We have
Yep.
too much information. Some of it is not relevant. So, how do you sift through all of this for what you need in particular, right? So,
Right. And the other thing too is, like, even though you have all this information, you might be dealing with or knowing especially a real estate agent, because this is our world, with real estate and with finance. We kind of forget that general public, they don't know these things. So that's why
that's
we
right.
like to share on the show what to do if this situation happens. So what a conditional, so let's just go from the beginning. So you make an offer on a property. If you put a condition on, you know what a condition is. It's conditional upon making sure you can get financing.
Mm-hmm.
You can condition on inspection to make sure the property is sound. You can make a condition on a lawyer taking a look at the deal. You can do other conditions like making sure that the tenants are out and you don't have to inherit the tenants. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of different clauses that we can put in, or conditions. Sometimes people use those terms interchangeably. So to say let's say I'm working on behalf of my sellers
Mm-hmm.
and you are representing the buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now the buyer says, okay, well, I want a condition on finance and I want a condition on inspection. And then you send me the paperwork and I say yes. And I talk to my clients say, yes, no problem. We'll give you 5 days to meet
So,
those
so,
conditions.
so Colette, what happens if, let's say, I put conditions on, like financing and
Yeah.
inspection and so on, and the buyer, the seller rejects those conditions? Can they do that?
Okay. Yes, of course. So let's say so this is what happens because of our world with multiple offers. What happens is some people say, I'm not going to put any conditions because I want my offer to be clean and I want it to be the best. And let's wait. Let's just not even put any conditions in.
Mm-hmm.
So as let's say I'm the listing agent and I get 5 offers and somebody gives me the best price, but they have conditions in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another offer with a lower price and there are no conditions. Which offer am I going to take? The answer is not very easy because it's not up to me. It's up to my sellers. So as much as I'd like to believe that I am in control and I know, everything and how things are going to work out, I don't. So I have to get direction from my
Yeah.
sellers to say, yes, I want you to go back to the people. Either there's always options. You can either go back to the people that have waived all the conditions and say, hey, listen, we have another offer on the table, but it's for more money. Would you like to better your offer?
Mm-hmm.
Option number one. Option number two is you go to the people that have the highest price and say, hey, we have another offer, but all the conditions are waived. Would you like to waive the conditions? this is the thing. This is about negotiating, how you manage it, how you work it, how you talk to the other agent. This is something that not every agent is savvy in, that even though, you know, they might be your brother, cousin, uncle, whatever,
Yeah.
best friend.
I think negotiation is a skill that has nothing to do with what you're doing.
Absolutely. It's a,
But question for you. So
yeah.
for people that are ready to put offers out there and that they have this question in mind,
Yeah.
is it better to just put no conditions? Like, what is the good or the bad about it? Do they
Well,
have more chances to actually get the
in a
house?
in a situation where there's multiple offers. So sorry, I just want to say one thing that's very, very important. Communication. If you get an agent that knows how to communicate well, there is no question about their abilities. I am on the other end of the table sometimes with deals. And when I talk to the other agent and they say, don't worry about it, I never want to hear that. And as a consumer, as a client, I never want to hear, don't worry about it either. I want to know why. I need to know the details. I need to know the knowledge that is behind what you're talking about. I'm sorry, my phone is crazy today. So really, when it comes down to getting the best deal for your clients, 100% it has to do with communication. How you communicate, who you communicate with, and how often and how quickly you can manage to speak to that other party. So I would never recommend to waive conditions if the buyer is nervous. If you've bought 6 houses and you're going to tear it down anyway, you don't need that condition.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use conditions as a buffer as well, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case. It's kind of a scary thing, or it's kind of like not lawful to use something if you know you have your condition on finance, but you have the cash money in your deposit, in your, not just the deposit, but you have the total amount in your bank account. You know you're going to pay, let's just say in this situation where you're using finance as a, you know, buying yourself a little bit of time to
Mm-hmm.
decide. You can't do that. That is not what the condition is meant for. The condition is meant for actual going to the bank, making sure that you qualify, knowing what your rate is. That's why you put a condition like that in. And I would never recommend not taking it out unless you're very, very confident.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing, to really make your deal as clean and nice as possible. Then of course, if you want to waive those conditions, that's up to the buyer to do that.
Mm-hmm.
As a seller, if you want to say, like I said before, to write that in to say, oh, we have multiple offers and this other offer doesn't have the conditions, you can do that. But also, let's say there is no other offers. Let's say you just get the one offer. Of course, the seller can wait to take out everything, but then you might kill the deal. So, you know, if you as a, think about it, if you as a seller tell a buyer, no, you cannot have inspection, I'm taking that out, don't you think that's a red flag?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what are you hiding? Are you hiding some dead bodies in the basement? Like, what's going on? I don't want to waive that condition. I want to make sure everybody, it's totally fine. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Have the inspection done.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention one thing that's going on actually as we speak. I have a listing currently. It's a condo. The buyers got an offer, great offer. My clients accepted. Everything's great. We have 2 conditions, finance and inspection. Yesterday was the day that they were supposed to waive the conditions or say, yes, we accept the conditions. Everything's fine. No inspection was done. We had 5 days. No inspection was done. I have not spoken to the agent at all. He has not contacted
Are
me.
you the seller agent?
I'm the seller. Yeah, I'm representing the sellers. The buying agent is, I can't name names and I can't
Yeah, of
say
course.
details, but basically you have 2 conditions. You have to waive them by a certain date. Any agreement, you either will say 5 days or the actual date.
So now what happens if you cannot, like, do you have a grace period or?
This is what happens. This is
Are
the
they in
law.
breaching contract now?
This is contract law 101. To have a contract, you have to have dates. You don't meet the dates, the contract is void. The end. Very, very simple. Very simple. I sent this guy emails. I sent this guy texts. I phone him. Hey, I'm a babysitter, which I shouldn't be, but I call him and say, hey, you know, your conditions are about to expire. Like, where's my waiver? Where are my, so there's two things. It's called, sorry, I always forget what the other thing is called. So there's either a waiver, you can either do a waiver. Sorry, I have my little cheat sheet on the side there. So you can either waive the conditions, or you can say that the conditions have been fulfilled. So that's a whole other thing about law. And if you want more detail about that, that's something I give, that's information I give to my clients. Very, very important too, how you, if you want to give the waiver, or how you write that meeting of the conditions. Those two different pieces of paper are very, very important.
So what is going to happen to the down payment that the buyers gave?
Well, this is what happens.
Forfeited?
So it's not like Canadian law. People think, oh, I'm just going to keep the deposit. You can't do that. We still want to sell the property. At the end of the day, I still have to sell the property for my clients and represent them the best I can. So what this means is the deal is dead. So there are a couple options. Number one, that agent can release the deal, and he can get his money back. He can get his deposit back.
Okay.
Second option is he can resubmit a new offer and keep the deposit in my trust account, my office's trust account. He can resubmit his offer and see if my clients will accept it. But guess what's happened? I got another offer.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if he brings me another offer, now it's a multiple offer situation. This is why you have to just really get your timeline figured out and meet those conditions. So if he thinks that, oh, it's no big deal, I'm just going to ask for an extension, he should have asked for an extension before it expired. So with Canadian law, I am not a lawyer, but as a real estate representative, we all need to know the law and represent our clients to the nth degree. It is very legally binding. If he comes back to me and says, oh, I'm going to take you to court, this is not allowed, you didn't do the right thing.
Can't do that.
He can take me to court all he wants. I've done nothing wrong. I have proof that I have sent him emails to remind him, where's my release, or where's my waivers? Where are the waivers? So these are the things that, as a real estate representative, that's why things kind of go off the rails, and you hear all these horror stories about, oh, you know, this didn't happen, or that didn't happen, or it was sold under me and I had a signed agreement. Get the whole story. Sometimes it's not true. Really, what it is about the details of saying you are complacent in what you've done or what you haven't done. You have not met.
That is what it's so important for you to do the deal with the experienced agent that can help you navigate through this, because missing a date might mean that you might lose the property altogether. And that is not something, like if you already won the bid and they're just waiting for conditions, you don't want to lose it because you have somebody that is not on the ball, right?
Right. Well, and this is the interesting thing too. At the end of the day, like, are these people just playing around and just doing, you know, whatever?
I don't think I would if I'm going to put a down payment, you know, like, doesn't make sense.
Okay, unless, see, this could work to their advantage too. So, and I don't like playing these games. Don't get me wrong. I would never play these games on my side. So I don't know. This is the thing about communication. I don't know what the heck that guy is thinking, or what those buyers are thinking. Because if they think, okay, I'm going to put on 6 offers on different properties.
No.
And, I'm going to give, but this is what investors do. They have 20,000, 10,000, whatever deposit money. They know they're going to get them back. They know they're going to get it back anyway. So out of all of the, you know, if they have to make these split decisions about which property to buy, and they say, okay, we're going to buy like 5 properties, maybe it's not that important to them for them to close on this property, but it's the other party. Like, you always want to have that other party in mind. Why
Of
do you want to
course.
play these games? This is
Yeah.
someone's life at stake. My clients may have already bought a property and they need to close.
Yeah.
So dragging your feet, it's really not fair.
Yeah, it just becomes a domino effect for everybody, right? For
Absolutely.
both
Right.
agents, for the seller and the buyer, and maybe the possibility of losing either side of the deal, right? Like if your seller already has a property lined
Right.
up, and now they can't close because the deal falls through in their house. Now they have another problem that they might even lose their other house. I
Right.
have a question. So at what point in time the down payment is forfeited? How far do you have to go to lose that down payment?
The down payment is forfeited. That's a very technical question. It's not really easy to forfeit like everything has to be like for the buyers to keep that deposit.
Yeah.
There really has to be something in bad faith, if I can
Okay.
say it that way. So on closing, let's say they don't close, it's still not a guarantee. That's a lawyer question, really, because every scenario is different. You
Okay.
can't just automatically assume to keep the. So this is what happens. A lot of people don't even know what happens to the deposit. The deposit actually goes into the listing brokerage trust account. So it is safe. If you don't trust the brokerage, you can take that money and put it in trust with your lawyer. So the lawyer will hold onto it, and they have a separate trust account too. In Ontario law, Ontario real estate law, you have to, as a brokerage, they have to have a trust account that is separate only for deposits. So it's very safe to keep it in that account. Once things go south, to get that deposit back, you'll need a release. So from both parties, you have to fill it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be filling out a release form for the buyers to sign and for my buyers to sign to say, if you want your deposit, so the deal is dead. The deal is dead. But if they want the deposit back, those buyers should be writing that paper, not me. And again, I feel like a babysitter that I'm doing all this work because I'm still representing my sellers, and I want them to sell their property. And without that release, it gets a little finicky. Even though the deal is done, it's finished.
Yeah.
They can accept another offer now.
Yeah, but they need the release before they accept the offer. Is that how
No.
it works?
No.
Okay.
So technically, no. It's better. So this is my second offer. What I have to do for the second offer is I have to write in a clause that says the second buyer understands that the first offer needs to have a release, and that we will give them 5 days to get that release done.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say magically the first offer comes back and says, we'll give you another $10,000 and we'll sign off and no conditions and it's a done deal. Then the second offer, we can say, I'm sorry, we can't meet that condition of getting getting that release from the first offer. So then the second deal is dead. You cannot have 2 live deals at the same time. So that's the tricky part when it comes down to the law and how to manage the best scenario for my clients who are the
Yeah.
sellers.
So what happens, let's say that this person does not release or gives you that waiver in 5 days or whatever time you give them?
Then the deal is dead. They don't get their money back. The second deal can go forward.
Okay.
Yeah. It is such a technicality. And I hate to say it's a gray area because law really, there should not
Yeah,
be
of
a gray
course.
area. But there's options. Like that's really what it comes down to is the first deal is dead, but there are options for them to come back and say, hey, we want to really continue on with this offer. We
Yeah.
want to move forward with it.
But can you
So,
use leverage the second offer maybe because it's more money,
of
let's
course I
say?
can. Of
You can
course
go back and it says if you want to revive the deal, then you have to offer us more money.
Absolutely. Right. So, and that's the thing too with Canadian real estate. I cannot tell anybody what price is what. So if I say to the first offer, hey, listen, we got a second offer, you know, what do you want to do? And then the first offer will say, yeah, we'll resubmit a new offer. And I'll say, well, and at that point I will say, maybe you want to add some money for the trouble that you've put us through.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe like this is the, you know, kind of, I can't tell you how much the first offer was to the second offer, and I can't tell the second offer how much the first offer was until it's, you know, it's a done deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really tricky. And, you know, between you and me and the internet, like the two deals are very close, but not close enough. So I can absolutely, and I actually, you know, just my phone is binging, binging, binging. I might actually get a third offer now too. So this is how quickly things move. This is within not even 24 hours.
Yeah,
so
that's what it's super important, especially in this type of market, to be
Right.
on the ball. I think that you have to be on the ball all the time, no matter what. If you do have a condition and a time frame to fill this out, whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market, you
Right.
still have to fulfill it.
Right.
Whatever the date is, because
Right.
otherwise there's other things happening, not only that you might lose the deal or there's other offers, but there's other things happening, buying other property, moving, all of those kind of things, right? That affects everybody.
Right. And this is the funny thing too about, you know, how real estate agents are supposed to represent the consumer. So I am representing my sellers, right? Why would I run after the buyer and the buyer agent? He is being paid to represent the buyer.
Yeah.
So why would I have to run after him to save a deal when I have two other deals? Like, this is what doesn't make sense to me about, you know, real estate.
Yeah.
Things work.
Maybe something changed with the buyers that you don't know about.
Right. Or they're just being complacent. So because like this is the thing about real estate agents. You can't expect us all to know, well, that's really not a very good thing to say. You can't expect us to all know the law, but that is our job. Ultimately, it's our job.
You don't have to know all the law, but only the law that applies to real estate deals.
Right. But the whole, it applies to, and again, what I said before was it applies to those conditions. You have a deal, the condition has a date. It is on paper. It is written out very, very clear. This is the date. You don't meet that condition. You don't tell the other party that, yes, everything is fine. Dies. It dies no matter what, no matter how you look at it. So whenever I do a deal, even if I do a lease, I do it like I'm in front of a judge. So if I have to go to court, knock on wood, I've never been in court. If I had to, how would it be perceived? Is it by law? Is everything written up?
Yeah.
Is everything clear?
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Right. And this is why when I see a clause that says 5 days, I cross it out and I put an actual date. So, you know, July 7th. Because if people say, oh, it was a holiday, and oh, you know, it was a holiday, but then there's a statutory holiday, and then it was the weekend, so we're still under our 5 days. Nope. July 7th, that's the date. So there's no question about 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever days. 5 o'clock, that date.
That's it.
5 days.
That's it.
So that's it. It's a clear line in the sand.
Yeah.
So it's so important. And it's not just about real estate deals. It's about any contract that you sign and you write should be very clear down to the hour to say it expires at this moment.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is another interesting thing. Let's say there's a foreign buyer and they live in Mexico. No, sorry, Mexico's about, because the time frame is the same. The time zone is the same. So let's say,
not. Well, it depends where in Mexico.
Right. So let's just say I'm buying a house in Ontario and I live in California. The time that it says on the contract is the time where it is the house or the property. So it's not California time.
Good to know.
Yes, it's very important to know that. So people think, oh, I have an extra day because I'm in China. No, or Australia or whatever, you know, like a different, very different time zone. It doesn't matter. It's where the property is. That's the time where the property is.
Yeah, that's good to know, good to remember exactly where the property is. It doesn't matter where you are, but where you're buying the property. So this is really important. So taking this, you know, kind of like a summary, make sure that you use an agent that is experienced in negotiating and that they can help you with all of these little milestones. It's not only getting the offer accepted, but all of the milestones that need to be fulfilled before you actually close. So you don't want to be in a position that you're going to lose the property. And for the sellers, in this case, for your clients, Colette, they might actually end up in a better situation if they don't have a hurry to sell, right? But
it's not about a hurry to sell. I have another offer. So
no, but I mean, if it doesn't interfere with maybe buying another property, or they can play around with that.
Right,
so
right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so you know, we should do a whole show on when to buy. Should you buy first or sell first?
Yeah, I think yeah, we have that. And actually we do have, like, if you haven't seen it, go see it. I'm going to put a link below as well. And
did we already do a show on that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we have that show.
We've done so many shows, I forget which ones we've done.
I know, but this is the whole thing, that we want to just narrow down into a specific situation. Hopefully this helps you and make a better decision, or to maybe know what to ask, right? Because that's important. Sometimes you don't know what to do, but this is great. Thank you, Colette, for sharing this story, and we can all take something out of it. And if you're ready to buy, remember to either contact me as a financial plan, or Colette if you're ready to go and select your new property.
So, well, you know, there's, what's that saying? Like, you don't know until, like, you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
Absolutely. So that's why you hire professionals that know what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Okay, thank you, Colette, and we will see you next week. Thank you for
everybody. Have a great day.